Last time, Joel Hetrick tried to continue his march toward the AMA Pro ATV Motocross National Championship points lead, getting out front early at Sunset Ridge in our last event. But Chad Wienen, the defending series champ and home track specialist, moved up to the challenge to get second place at the end. Hetrick won the first moto, but Wienen would not take it lying down in Moto 2. So even while he didn't get a good start, Chad Wienen quickly moved his Yamaha up into the fray. First, getting Josh Upperman, then Jeffrey Rastrelli, and eventually railing past Hetrick to get the lead and the clutch overall win. Can the champ hold on to another title? AMA Pro ATV Motocross is next.
This is Millville, Minnesota presents the Spring Creek ATV National, Round 7 of the Wiseco ATV National Motocross Championship, sanctioned by AMA Pro Racing and presented by CST Tires. Millville, one of the most popular tracks in all the world, whether it's ATV riders or dirt bike folks, we got it all. Big jumps, great soil, the famous Sam Whoops. This stuff is not actually part of the track. That's just to entertain the fans, by the way. Our pro riders checking in through tech inspection, sound check, and everything else. There's Ronnie Higgerson's machine, Wesley Wolf. Those guys are looking good in their Baldwin Motorsports rides. Joe Bird, not quite retired yet, going to come and race with us today. Thomas Brown signing some autographs here on the number 84. Sam Rowe with the Root River Racing squad. There's Josh Upperman signing some autographs, also with Root River. Dylan Tremelin's ride here. Hey, Nick Janusa, Jansen, Taylor, and Kazmarek. Good-looking machines here. Wes Lewis as well on the 79. Parker Wawerka on the Walsh Racecraft number 9. But how about the number 1, Chad Wienen, under attack lately? Let's see what he's thinking.
We're back in the Midwest. Really pumped about that. This one's pretty close to home as well. It's only 200 miles, and I've had a lot of success here over the years. The Whoop Monster in the back, and man, you just hit those rollers once, you get to turn around and come back and hit them again. And I love that part of the track, and it really benefits my riding style. And I look forward to that every year. And today, you know, it's not looking so nasty back there, so I'm hoping they spice it up a little bit. And, you know, with practice goes on, it keeps digging and digging and gets deeper and deeper. So we're focused on our starts this weekend just to try and get out front and run my race from there.
Yeah, 6'4" Chad Wienen. The rollers always help him, and it did help last year. He overcame this guy, Joel Hetrick, to win. Here's Joel.
We're here at Millville. Checked out the track today in practice. It's looking pretty good. The rollers are definitely tamed down a bit. I think that's going to help me a bunch for this weekend. You know, I've always struggled here in the rollers. Chad is a monster through those, and you know, give him props for that. But most of the track is, you know, good for me. It's kind of hard packed on some of the other side of the track, so I was looking forward to that. But you know, when I got here and I saw those rollers, I'm definitely looking forward to you know, getting my first win here at Millville. That would be awesome. I've never won here before. I've got a moto win, but you know, every year has been a second for me. So for me to pull off a win here would be great. If not, I want to, you know, split the points and you go to the last 3 rounds, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, only a 7-point gap between Wienen and Hetrick, closest this championship has been in years. We'll have practice and qualifying next here on MAV TV. ATV Motocross is brought to you by Wiseco, by CST Tires, by Amsoil, and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Time for the CST Tires qualifiers. This is practice, but we'll also have a chance to put the stopwatch, or really the transponders, to everyone. There are those sand rollers, and here is Chad Wienen. And we'll see how Hetrick gets through them. Yeah, a little bit tamer this year, and it's all about track management. They had a ton of rain coming into this race, including a lot last night. So that's going to change the way they prep the track, and it's going to change the way it forms up. I think it'll get rougher in some spots, but those sand rollers apparently not quite. See Thomas Brown throwing it sideways in the 84. Here's Nick Janusa. I feel perhaps the most improved rider this year is Janusa, along with Jeff Rastrelli, who's become a podium threat and even battling for wins. There's Parker Wawerka on that number 9, the Walsh Racecraft machine. There's Ronnie Higgerson. Sammy Rowe here putting it down, choosing to double some of those whoops. Sean Taylor and and then scrub it over the catapult. Yeah, Big Joe Bird, multi-time series champ. Good to see the Lucky 7 back out here. Wesley Wolf throwing some roost. And Kazmarek is Cody Jansen here. Tremelin putting these stickers under the fenders for a reason. Well, Joel Hetrick ends up with your ATV Riders fast qualifying time. That's very often the case in these races. Now, who can battle Wienen and Hetrick? Jeff Rastrelli's been right in the hunt lately.
Jeffrey Rastrelli here at Millville MX. Really looking forward to this place with the sandy, rough terrain and the whoops in the back. I always really like this place. I actually got my first fastest qualifier here, and just looking to keep plugging away at the podiums and knocking some points away, and just stay consistent and stay in third place, and of course try to close in on first and second. But they're pretty far away. We're just gonna try to keep plugging away at third and secure that position. This sand here really favors me, considering I grew up in Florida, and I'm really excited to get the weekend kicked off.
Yeah, seemingly everyone does some sort of riding and training in Florida these days, so they're all pretty good in the sand. But maybe Rastrelli being a native is a little advantage. We'll see how it plays out next. ATV Motocross is brought to you by Wiseco, by CST Tires, by AMSOIL, and by Rocky Mountain ATVMC. Well, it's all on the line now because the riders are about to go to the line. Jason Wygant here on MAV TV. Give me to the call. This is our Spring Creek ATV National from Millville, Minnesota. We're on board. We got the Rocky Mountain ATVMC helmet cam on Joel Hetrick, so this should be fun to watch. And this Millville start stretch famous, so fast, so wide, and so far so good for Joel Hetrick, putting the Rocky Mountain ATVMC helmet cam out front. Jeff Rastrelli also has one here. He's buried behind Wawerka. It's at about 5th place, I'd say, at the moment. You can see Hetrick way up ahead, getting away. Just what the doctor ordered for Hetrick as he heads to the catapult. That's this next jump right here. And already pulling away, you can hear the sounds of Rodney Tomlin, our live race announcer, and the fans here at Millville are pumped too as they watch Rastrelli trying to make moves. Now, Wawerka has been a top 10 threat all year on that number 9. Don't sleep on him. And then this other side of the track, a little more hard pack, less sand, and a little more supercross-like with these obstacles. It's what they call the collarbone, the uphill, downhill, drop back down. Hetrick digging in. Man, that's a nice size lead for a 1 lap in the books. Looks like it's Thomas Brown in second and Wienen in third. Haven't seen Brown get that type of a start much this year. Woo! And Hetrick just light that corner up. So we'll see what Wienen can do with Brown. Brown riding very well right now and actually has a couple of quad lengths of a lead on him as we go back to the Rocky Mountain helmet cam on Hetrick. Is this soil, these berms, not make you want to start your machine up and get out here and ride? Riders love Millville. Brown trying to work Wienen. Rastrelli trying to work Wawerka. A little hang up there on those ruts from Hetrick. Well, as we mentioned, it's only a 7-point lead. Hetrick traditionally catches fire midway through the season, but it's very far back in points because of some early mistakes. Wienen does not give you any breathing room. This year, Hetrick has done a great job staying consistent early, and when he has turned it up at midseason, he was close enough in points to be a real threat. And Wienen here on the number 1 knows it. He's got to get around Thomas Brown, and he can't make it happen. Brown, the Texan, is always determined. These guys are pretty good friends off the track. In fact, he used to ride for Wienen's team. He doesn't want to give it to him. And finally, Wienen able to make the pass. Wienen on the SSI decals, Walsh Racecraft, Wienen Motorsports, Yamaha. Brown back by CST Tires, Brute River, and Performance Motorsports. Hetrick is gone. Boy, Chad Wienen is going to have his hands full here. Probably wishes those sand rollers were now 3 times as deep as they were. There is Rastrelli getting by Wawerka for 4th. This guy is just a poet, an artist. when he's out front like this. Kind of invented that scrubbing style that we see a lot of the riders using now, throwing it sideways over the jumps. Perfect timing. Now he is smaller than Wienen. That's why when the tracks get super rough and you have those big rollers, Wienen can get the advantage on him. They had some rollers at our last race, Sunset Ridge, and that did play into Wienen's favor. Headed into the rollers now. Let's see how Hetrick does. Oh, Rastrelli. Rastrelli making a charge at Brown. I thought he might get to him maybe by the time the moto was over, but he has gone much more quickly than that. As you watch Hetrick setting sail and taking flight out front. This is exactly what he needs to keep closing into the points as he aims for his first title. Meanwhile, Jeff Rastrelli up to third. Stay with us. ATV Motocross is brought to you by Wiseco, by CST Tires, by Amsoil, and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Joel Hetrick has been strong so far today. Got the ATVRiders.com qualifying award, leading our first moto. Got the SSI Decals Whole Shot Award to aid in that. Take a step back and keep watching this battle for third. Man, Rastrelli made short work of the gap that he had between he and Brown, but Brown is now stuck right with him after he made the pass. Check back in with Hetrick. Yeah, he's looking around trying to keep tabs on Wienen back in second, and I don't think the champ's making up much ground today, so we'll keep focusing on this battle here. Oh! Lines came together. Nice attempt by Brown to get it back. Brown must have made a mistake to allow Rastrelli to make up that much ground because he clearly can match the pace. The Maxxis Elka Liquid Wrench Honda of Hetrick goes by. Back to the back section. And Spring Creek, the actual creek, just there to the right. You can actually see it off to the side. And no change. See, whoa, almost a change there. Almost TT style. Hetrick throwing it way sideways in that corner, pitching it in. And I love the way this part of the track has worked out. They don't go all the way to the top of Mount Martin, trying to keep the lap time at a reasonable distance here. But I think this section actually lends itself to more action, the way it's turned into a little S-turn as we check in with Wienen. Remember a lap ago, we saw Brown and Rastrelli really dueling through there. One lap to go, and there's nothing Wienen can do in this moto. It's just too far back. Wasn't able to make up the ground. He's gonna have to surrender some points to Hetrick. They do pay championship points each time they're out there per moto. So with that 7-point lead, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna cut right into that. Not quite in half, but it is absolutely gonna put Hetrick in position. We've got Unadilla, Redbud, and in the finale, Dirt Days at Loretta Lynn's to settle this championship. So there's enough rounds and enough time for him to do it. And that means we're gonna see some great heads-up racing between he and Wienen. You cannot consistent your way into the title. Neither one of them. They're gonna have to beat each other in the motos. Back to this battle for third. It has been a good one. Brown and Rastrelli the whole way as Hetrick looks to put the finishing touches on this moto win. Up to the top of the collarbone and down for the last time. Here comes Hetrick. Got the first moto win at Millville. That's a big check in the box because this track has traditionally played to the strengths of Chad Wienen. So now we have to get ready for Wiseco Moto number 2. And as the mechanics pack the starting gate, there is Wienen focused in. He's got to get a better start and try to run with Hetrick this time. Rastrelli with the Rocky Mountain ATV MC helmet cam. Revs are up, gate is down. Another subpar start for Rastrelli, so he's got work to do, and another SSI Decals Whole Shot Award for Hetrick. Rastrelli's got to work around Higgerson. Always runs in distinctive white wheels, and he's got Thomas Brown in front of him. And here's the battle we wanted to see. This time, Wienen with a better start, and he used those sand rollers to get right behind Joel Hetrick. Oh, they're battling hard now as they're about to go uphill over the catapult jump. Rastrelli still behind Hickerson. So good job by Ronnie, who's gotten a couple podiums in this series, so he's no slouch. And there's the S-turns. It could play in the favor. No, I thought Wienen was going to make the pass. Love that section and how they have two different split options in there. Good job of the track crew today to open that up. Now on board with Josh Upperman. Upperman, I believe, is battling with Hickerson. You see that freight train back there. Yep, that is Hickerson in front of Upperman. Oh, listen to those guys grabbing gears. Get to the top of that collarbone section. Hey, how about Dylan Tremelin starting third in this one? Ahead of Brown and Rastrelli. Then Hickerson and Upperman battling, so let's see what Dylan, the young man, can do. There he is. And there are the sand rollers. Wienen! Gonna use the outside line. Will it pay off? I think he's got him. Yes, Chad Wienen takes the lead. Whether those sand rollers be huge or merely medium-sized, it's enough for the big man from Galena, Illinois to use to his advantage. And that is massive. And let's see if he can start putting the hammer down and pulling away. Hetrick staying right there with him through the S-turn. Meanwhile, Brown and Rastrelli still battling. I think they've gotten around Tremelin now. Oh, what a fight for the lead. Hetrick is not going anywhere. He is camped out on the rear fenders of our leader. And the rest of the battle rages as well. So this is it. The championship fight is on up front, and the freight train's coming. Third through about 10th, locked in a duel today on MAP TV. ATV Motocross is brought to you by Wiseco, by CST Tires, by Amsoil, and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Thomas Brown and Jeff Rastrelli fighting it out for third here in the second moto. They spent most of Moto 1 battling like that. Here's your battle up front. Chad Wienen just trying to slip away. Rastrelli still trying to take third from Brown. That would be third overall on the line too. Man, every time I think Wienen's pulled away enough where it's a true, oh, wait a minute, a huge mistake. Chad Wienen brought the back end around, spun it out. Now there was relentless pressure being applied by Hetrick, but that is normally Wienen's specialty, not putting a wheel wrong. He got them both sideways, the rear tires that time, and Hetrick, on a track that does not necessarily favor him, could be looking at a 1-1 day and making up 6 points in the standings, and he was only down 7 coming in, and there are 2 laps to go. He is letting it all fly right now. He does not want Wienen to catch him. This would feel like stealing it right now. Absolutely. I don't know where he was going to try to pass Wienen, but he got it handed to him, and that's what happens when you keep the pressure on. Good job by the 88 of Joel Hetrick to stay in the hunt, not just pack up the tent and say, I'll settle for a 1-2 and a split on points for the day, and look at the lead now. And not much to look at here. Josh Upperman, oh, he just went down. Could barely even tell that Upperman just crashed. I think he was trying to get back up there. Hope he's okay. And here is Chad Wienen. Oh, the disappointment. That's a 6-point swing between gaining 3 and now losing 3. And that could be everything by the end of the year, because points are even more at a premium between these two, because it almost doesn't matter where they start. They end up 1-2. So you can't make up or gain or lose a ton of points in one day. It's going to come down to these one-on-one battles. And Hetrick's going to win them both today at Millville. Back to Rastrelli. Oh, face full of roost. And Thomas Brown has not yielded. Whoa! Did you see Hetrick almost throw the whole thing away right there on the landing of that jump? Those scrubs can get a little hairy sometimes, but overall the kid did a good job. He hung on and he goes 1-1, sweeping Millville, and that is massive in this series. Let's check in with these guys.
Started off today here at Millville with first in time qualifying. Set me up good for Moto 1. Pulled the whole shot in Moto 1, led every lap. pulled like a 12-second lead, and that was good confidence heading into Moto 2. I knew the track was going to be a lot rougher for Moto 2, but Moto 2 came out with the whole shot again. Chad got around me around about halfway, kind of maintained my gap. He pulled a little bit on me, and then I caught back up, and he was making a few mistakes, and he made one big one that I capitalized on, and I ended up getting the 1-1 today. I've never done that here before, so it is super, super amazing to be in this position today, and 1 point down in the championship battle, so it's going to be intense last 3 rounds, and I'm definitely looking forward to it.
All right, pretty good day out here at Millville, and man, I ended up second on the box, and man, second moto we were ready to go, and we came out second on the start behind Joel, and we made it past the second lap, I believe, and the rollers, and I started clicking off some good laps and pulling away a little bit, and man, I made a big mistake a little before halfway through, maybe, or halfway through, and the track started deteriorating pretty fast, and I just overrode it in that one spot, and it kind of rattled me up a little bit, and rolled it home to second, and not the greatest of point stays, but we know what we got to do, and we got 3 rounds left to go, and we're gonna do everything we can to clean up the mistakes that we did today, and push forward to Unadilla here in a couple weeks.
Finally got back up on the box, so I'm really pumped on the first moto. We came out second, really had to push the last lap, and we battled it to the end. I'm looking forward to keeping on the podium the rest of the year, but we're a little nervous. Next weekend's Unadilla, and man, it's not been my strongest tracks in the past years. We're just gonna have to keep pushing, and I know we're gonna go fast on that track. It's a fast track, and that's what I'm gonna go train this week for, is really push on the keeping the bike wide open through them corners and pushing forward.
We got to be wide open off the start. You watch your AMSOIL race recap of Moto 1, and Joel Hetrick certainly was. He got away. Big battles back here. Jeff Rastrelli trying to work his way forward. Wienen trying to get around Thomas Brown, but that was all for second because Hetrick was gone. Here is Wienen making the move on Brown to get to that runner-up spot. Then Rastrelli got Brown, and they battled every inch of this track all the way to the end. But in the end, it was Hetrick, Wienen, and Rastrelli top 3. Moto number 2, another good start for Hetrick, but this time he had Wienen right there with him. And then the big man uses those long legs to the sand rollers to get the lead. Another battle between Brown and Rastrelli breaks out for third, but an uncharacteristic mistake from Chad Wienen allows Hetrick to get the lead and the win again. 1 point is the lead for Wienen. This is going to be a spectacular championship run. For everyone at Racer TV, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at Unadilla.